See what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Good luck for signals.
And they'll run it here. And he'll run it right through it. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 41. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. A first throw for the backup Griffin. He's got his man on the crossing route. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
On 4th down, they snap it to Mayfield. That's to his running back, complete. A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. Boy, that's some kind of effort. When he caught it, I doubted if he could get there. Knew it was going to be close, but credit him. Really good effort.
How about the rack on that play? The run after catch. But most of the time we think of it as just being an open field and picking up yardage. Sometimes you have to be real physical in order to gain the yardage you need for a first down.
He sets to fire, and it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. In for the score. And the Rams just continue to pour it on. Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Wilson in the offense not coming off the field. They're going for it on 4th. They're going to try and throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to go up top for the end. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. As his guys are in for 6. And the Rams have got it on cruise control. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense.
He's got a man complete. A gain of 39 that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
And now here is another interception. Picked off inside the 5. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
No. Check. Patriot. Detroit.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Gone. All right, now, lucky 56.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be gathered up in the end zone. And that's a defensive touchdown. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field, that close to the goal line. The defense, they are looking for that football. They got it. They scored it.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
Gold able to tack on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout,
because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, LA! A big play there. 73 yards. And the Rams just continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throw right side is hauled in by the tight end, Gonzalez. A gain of 6 there on first.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end. Take some easier.
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Eli Harold in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He's going to look deep down the field. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 41. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Following the interception, Mayfield. He's going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. A 2nd down throw for Mayfield. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. In for the score. And thanks to the interception, the Rams offense cashes in for 6. Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
And the Seahawks on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Buying time to his left. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed.
It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there for L.A. 47 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the red zone now, Mayfield. His throw incomplete. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Mayfield on play action. Rolling to his right. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows?
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have recovered.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off with great anticipation, and they've got it very deep in enemy territory. It's inside the 5 at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal. Yeah, quite a turn of events. This is 1st and goal from the 3.
No, Jack, Patriot!
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Frank Clark able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Now Mayfield on 3rd and goal. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now Mayfield on 4th down. And this is going to be intercepted. Tedrick Thompson picks it. Well, they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now they try the right side here. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. On 2nd down, Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. One last shot for Wilson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to let it fly. They got his man complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for a few days as they'll host the Arizona Cardinals next week.